Have you ever wondered why does a day have only 24 hours or a circle have only 360 degrees? The reason for this is really simple and straightforward. Let's start with the rotation of the Earth. Earth rotates eastwards once on its axis in about 24 hours with respect to the Sun. It must be kept in mind that the Earth rotates on its geographical axis, which is inclined at 23.5 degrees relative to perpendicular to its orbit around Sun. And Earth's geographical axis is inclined at an angle of 11.5 degrees to its magnetic axis. These 24 hours together is called a day, which consists of a period of sunlight called as day, followed by a period of absence of sunlight called night. The portion of Earth that remains in front of the Sun experiences daytime, and the portion that is away from the Sun experiences night. But why does the day have 24 hours only? For understanding this, we have to go back in time when timekeeping methods were primitive. Earlier, astronomers observed 36 groups of stars which were the part of these 12 constellations. These 36 stars that were present in the sky conveniently divided the universal plane into equal parts of 10 degrees each. Hence, these stars were also called as Decans. The passage of night could be marked by the appearance of 18 of these stars, 3 of which were assigned to each of the 2 twilight periods when the stars were difficult to view. The period of total darkness or night was marked by the remaining 12 stars. Once both the light and dark hours were divided into 12 parts, the concept of 24 hours day came into existence. Similarly, most of the ancient civilizations used lunar calendars to mark the seasonal changes, which eventually led to calculation of days of a year. It was seen that to arrive at the same seasons, it took roughly 12 lunar cycles. Each lunar cycle lasts roughly 30 days. Hence, the days in a year became 360 days. Since the movement of stars seemed to follow a circular fashion across night sky and change of seasons followed a loop, the number 360 became associated with the circle. Another theory suggests that at certain time of year, a certain Decan star was visible at the highest point in night sky, which used to remain at the highest point for next 10 days, while the same star reaches at the highest point in night sky once more. Remaining 35 stars also crosses through, making the span of the year 360 days. Minutes and seconds, however, were not used for everyday timekeeping for several centuries. Mechanical clocks first appeared in Europe during the late 14th century, but with only one hand, following the design of sundials and water clocks. Minutes and seconds were but hypothetical quantities of time. With advancement in science and astronomy, the necessity for smaller units of time arose. For this, the legacy of Sumerians, who used to use base 60 for their calculations, was considered, and hours and minutes were subdivided into 60 parts, giving birth to minutes and seconds. Since Earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation on its axis, moving eastward 15 degrees will advance your clocks by 1 hour, and moving westward 15 degrees will set you back by 1 hour. Moving eastward or westward, each degree longitude advances or sets back the clock by 4 minutes. For huge countries spanning across several longitudes, keeping a single standard time across all its territories possesses administrative challenge and wastage of resources. For example, Russia, the largest country in the world, stretches from 19 degrees east longitude to 169 degrees west longitude, which is a span of 172 degrees or 688 minutes or 11 hours and 28 minutes. Making whole of Russia fall a single standard time will set one end way ahead or way back of other. This is the reason why concept of time zones came into existence. The idea behind multiple time zones is to divide the world into 24 15-degree slices and set the clocks accordingly in each zone. All of the people in a given time zone set their clocks the same way, and each zone is 1 hour different from the next. By this method, Russia has adopted these 11 time zones. Large countries like Canada, USA, Brazil, Australia, etc. have adopted multiple time zones, with exceptions of India and China, where both countries follow single standard time. Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, is the primary time standard by which the world regulates clocks and time. It is situated at 0 degree longitude, popularly called as prime meridian, and all the other time zones are relative to the UTC. It is effectively a successor of Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT. Interestingly, 1 degree of latitude equals approximately 111 kilometers on the Earth's surface, and by definition exactly 60 nautical miles. Because meridians converge at the poles, the length of a degree of longitude varies from 111 kilometers at the equator to 0 kilometers at the poles, where longitude becomes a point. time for a fun fact. A moving line that divides the daylit side and the dark night side of a planetary body is called a terminator. At the equator, the terminator moves at approximately 463 meters per second, whereas the speed of the terminator reaches zero at poles. Supersonic aircrafts are the only aircrafts able to overtake the maximum speed of the terminator at the equator. However, slower vehicles can overtake the terminator at higher latitudes, and it is possible to walk faster than the terminator at the poles, near to the equinoxes. So this is all for today's episode. I hope that I have helped you in understanding the concept of time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more of such videos. See you in the next episode. Till then, take care.